Hello guys, my name is Behroz and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will talk about how you can go about acing any presentation. When we are working in a 9 to 5 corporate setup, there are many instances when we are required to present. It's typically a presentation either through a written document, so write a one-page document, two-page document and send it out and then talk it out in a meeting, or you have to present a PowerPoint. So in any case, we have to go through some form of presentation throughout our career. So in today's video, I will talk about how you can go about acing your presentation. Now, before going into the video itself and the content itself, I have a special ask, which is in case you find any value from this video, please press the like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. On this channel, I share content pertaining to how you can achieve success in your career. So number one thing that you need to know about an effective presentation is that you need to have a very clear idea as to what is the objective of whatever you are presenting. What do you want the audience to feel, think, and eventually do? So why are you presenting? What is the core objective? And that should be an objective that you can write in one line. If you can write it in one line, that means it is clear in your head. And if it is clear in your head, it will be very easy for you to explain. I know there is a factor of nervousness when we are presenting. However, if you have that clarity, you know exactly what you want to achieve, that will already help a lot of nervousness. Now, talking about nervousness, another important thing that you can do is make sure that you're dressed well. So if on a regular day you don't wear a jacket, let's say for individuals, for gentlemen, then wear a jacket. Just overdress a bit for the presentation. It's just that when you look good, when you smell good, you just feel good, and when you feel good, you will able to present better and present well. When you're shabby, when let's say wearing a jeans or a shabby dress or anything, then the attention to detail is shabby as well. You're not very confident, especially if you have to present, right? So the confidence levels are relatively less. Now, it also depends on the kind of culture you are in. If people come in jeans and t-shirts, well, you won't be wearing a jacket to the presentation altogether. But what essentially I'm saying is, try to look slightly smarter, slightly sharper than what you usually do. It will just give you more confidence. Now, second thing which is important is that structure your presentation in a way where you start by telling the audience what you are about to tell them, which is kind of an executive summary, right? You start with an executive summary and say, here are the things that I want to tell you. These are the key highlights. Don't keep it as suspense. Just call it out earlier, especially when it's a corporate meeting. They want to know earlier what they're getting into, what they're about to listen. Like, it is a 1 hour meeting, their mind is already on the last slide thinking, what is that you want more money from them, you want to tell them the situation is good, situation is bad, whatever it is. They are curious and anxious. So break their anxiety, break their curiosity, and tell them what you're about to tell them in a quick summary. Then throughout the presentation, tell them that what you've already told them, which is here now the body of the presentation. So you already gave them an executive summary, but now you tell them whatever you told them already. Why is it true? What is the reason to believe? Like with more data, with more analysis, with more thought into it, going into more details. And once the body of the presentation is done, in the end, you summarize and you tell them again what you've told them. So you start by telling them what you're about to tell them, then tell them what you want to tell them, and then tell them what you just told them, which is to summarize, because you want to make sure that the message went through. And this message should not be more than 3, 4, or at best 5 big ideas. It should not be a laundry list of 10 ideas. You start with 5 exact ideas in executive summary, talk about those 5 in the body, maybe 1 slide or 2 slides per idea, and then in the end summarize those 5. Another piece which is important is always go with fewer slides. And here the rule of thumb is, so for instance, if you have 10 minutes to present, expect to spend at least 3 minutes per slide, which means you should not have more than 3 to 4 slides. Now, you can remove the introductory slide and the agenda slide because they're usually quick, but the other slides will take time. Plus, you also want to leave some room for questions and answers. So if you have 10 minutes, at best go with 3 slides. That is good enough. Maybe 5 slides with an introduction slide, and then 3 in the last any questions, exit, or thank you slide. So total 5 slides, but core slides are 3. So make sure you plan 3 minutes per slides. This is how much it will take, and then build some time for question and answers as well. I've made this mistake multiple times. It's a 1 hour meeting, which is I have 60 minutes and I go with like 40 slides. Well, if I do that, that will be a disaster. I won't be able to get through the presentation altogether. And then eventually I'll have to run through the points which may have been critical, but just because I've lost a lot of time. And also be prepared with some delays, right? You may start with a 5-minute delay. There would be some people who would want to leave early just because they have another meeting as well, some technological glitch, something or the other. So always buffer for 10 to 15 minutes of such glitches and all. Another important thing which I have struggled a lot is to speak slow. When you are presenting, you're already anxious. When you're anxious, your speed of delivery is much faster. So what you need to do is you need to slow down, because when you slow down, you're able to, one, communicate better. Second, you're also able to stress the point, and you also come across as confident. If you're like running fast, it means you're not confident, you're scared, and you just want to get through the presentation. So what you want to do is you want to speak slowly, you want to get the message across, and also you want to come across as confident, like someone who's in control, someone who's calm. So for you to be calm, for you to be in control, try to speak slowly. Another thing that speaking slowly does is it allows you for more time to process what is going on in the room, process how people are reacting, process what you are saying, and what will you say next. Just because you're slow, when you're fast, you're using a lot of your brain capacity in just delivering what you want to deliver and not being able to process the situation, the information in the room and all. Another important thing before you go in the presentation is always think, if you were the audience, what would you think of the presentation? What questions would you have? And try to address those questions early on or in the presentation itself. And you can even talk from the audience side, which is, now you may be wondering, now if you have a question or if there is a question. So you kind of tell them that I've already preempted the questions you are about to ask. Or even if you don't do that, at least address everything that you think that they will be asking. It is very important. Many times I've seen people doing is they make a brilliant presentation, they put it together, but then they don't put a devil's advocate hat on or the audience hat on and say, okay, if I am the audience, what kind of questions I would have. And I remember this one brilliant general manager I worked with. After the presentation would be done, he would have 2 days blocked just to poke holes in the presentation. So one day was to poke holes in the presentation, and second day would be to ask questions. And then he would make a slide or two just with the list of questions, and then would go about say, okay, let's answer those questions. So all the backup, all the details that are needed in order to answer all those questions. Just so, because when you go in the presentation, either you tackle those questions, or if you think you have not tackled them or you don't want to tackle them, at least you're prepared. So if someone asks you a question, you are already prepared because you knew that question is coming, and maybe you have some slides, some information in the appendix to tackle that question. Another important piece is don't just show data. Tell a story. And here what I mean by telling a story is speak in a way where you're just not saying the graph says it's increasing or decreasing, the graph says sales are up, sales are down. Rather, remember when we started the year, our sales were lagging, and now we have recovered because of the interventions or the initiatives that we've taken. So there has to be why it happened, and then tell a story. Remember when we started, we were lagging. Now we are improving. So take the audience through a journey of what you talked to them previously or what they know of previously, what are you telling them about now, and so on and so forth. So don't just present what is on the slide, rather think of how you can tell a story to them. It's just like as if you're sitting with them one-to-one basis, having a tea, having a coffee. How would you communicate to them, or how would you chat with them? You will take them through a journey. You'll picture or paint a room or a scenario for them. Just do that when you're presenting as well. Now, this may not be possible with every slide, but try to inculcate it as much as possible, because you want to create an environment in that room where you're presenting versus just talking the slide, talking the numbers. Another piece which is important is having an eye contact. So make sure you have an eye contact. Now, it's easier when you have 3-4 people in the room. You can just look at them. But when it's a bigger room, what you need to do is you need to identify 2 or 3 people who are paying a lot of attention to you, who are agreeing with by nodding their head in agreement with you, and you can see that they are paying attention. Look at them more, because when you look at them, they will give you more confidence, because they will continue to give you those nods that you're going in the right way, and you will have more confidence as you deliver your presentation. The last point I have, which is very important, is don't try to be macho here. I've seen people who've been in the corporate life for 20, 25 years, 30 years, have been on super senior positions, but still when they present, they would rehearse every word of their presentation. I'll tell you a story. I had this GM who was due to present in the afternoon to his team. Not his seniors, not his managers, to his reportees. All his reportees he was to present. And the guy, just 3-4 hours before the presentation, he was rehearsing. He had the slides open and he was presenting, like he was as if he was in front of an audience, and he was presenting and delivering the presentation. This, that. So he went through a complete dry run, not once, not twice, like 3, 4, 5 times. And I'm like, he is just presenting to his his report is he can even make a mistake. No one will care. Everyone will think he's great. But the idea is when you take the preparation to this level, you build conscientiousness in yourself. And when you're preparing every time, whether it's a senior or junior presentation, if you behave like this, you will always have that mindset of that I need to prepare well, I need to prepare more. Anyways, guys, this is what I wanted to cover with regards to how you can deliver an effective presentation. There are many nuances to it. How you create a slide, how do you deliver different points, what do you do with your hands, how do you speak, your pronunciation, everything. So in case this topic is of interest to you, drop me in the comments some comments, and I will make a couple of more videos on the same topic of how you can be an effective presenter. Now, one important call out: in case you want one-to-one coaching with me with regards to how you can improve your presentation skills, well, you can book a session with me using the link that I will leave in the description of this video.